Hi Year 4 and welcome to this week's writing task should you wish to take part. So we have travelled back in time and we now know that Tranio is part of the Roman legion which has gone over to Britannia. Now at the moment the Roman legion are resting at the fort before they start to build another one of the Roman roads. Before they do this, they've been out on daily patrols in Britannia. Unbeknown to them, the local tribes have been watching them. Now, we've sprung forward and we've realised that there's been a big battle that's taken place between the local tribe and the Roman legion. So we're going to go back just a little bit before this battle takes place and find out what it's like for the Britannia tribe to be waiting and watching for the Roman legion to arrive. Our task is going to be to write an account of this pending Roman attack. This means that we're going to write a fictional piece about what it's like to actually be watching and waiting for these Romans to arrive. While you're waiting for them to arrive, you are crouched behind the bushes and the trees. You've got your weapons with you. You've been watching for days now the Roman troop toing and froing along the pathway, which you are now waiting to pounce on them when they next come. Here's an extract, and it's from the Roman invasion book, and I've just changed it slightly. I've taken a few bits out and added a few bits and bobs just to make it so it is the account of the person who is waiting for the Roman legion to arrive. I'll read it to you and then we'll have a look at the steps that you can take to be successful in writing your account. As normal, you can pinch bits that you would like and you can make other bits your own. The night had been pitch dark and was now turning the red and grey of just before dawn. The sun had not yet risen, but its early red streaks could be seen making patterns in the distant sky. Owls still hooted, and foxes and badgers and other creatures of the night moved through the forest, heading home before the daylight exposed them to the predators of their own. So this first paragraph sets the scene. It says what the surroundings are like. So we know that the person who's been crouched in the bushes has been waiting all night because it's been pitch dark and now it's starting to turn light, so it's dawn. We're saying that the sun's not yet risen, but you can see it making patterns across the sky. So that's really descriptive. You can understand the time of the day that it is. We're then doing some sounds as well. So we can hear the owls, we can hear the foxes and the badgers and the other creatures of the night moving through the forest, crunching over the leaves, heading home before it becomes daylight. Okay, next paragraph. We stayed silent, hidden behind trees and concealed beneath bushes, watching as the first light of day filtered through the trees. Across the track throughout the forest, others were also hidden, more warriors from our tribe. Our spies had been keeping an eye on the Romans in their big fort and had noticed that they had sent out dawn patrols to keep watch on the territory they had invaded. For the past 2 days, the Roman patrol had travelled the same path, coming through this part of the forest. Usually, it was just a party of 20 soldiers, and we had 50 of our tribe hidden among the trees and bushes of the wood. All of us were armed with knives, swords, and axes. So your second paragraph is now describing where you are. So this is where you can introduce that you are hiding behind a bush or behind a tree or hidden in a ditch. You're talking about how you are not the only person there, that you've got other members of your tribe all keeping watch and waiting for the Romans to arrive. It's an opportunity as well to introduce how you've been watching for days the Romans on this same journey every single day while they're out on patrol. And you're saying all of us were armed with knives, swords, and axes and spears. That says that you are ready for battle. So you're not saying we're ready to attack the Romans. Just introducing that you're armed with knives, swords, axes, and spears helps the reader to know that you're waiting to attack. The third paragraph. In the distance, we heard the sound of many tramping feet. The Roman patrol was coming. I crouched behind the cover of the trees, my fist gripping the handle of my knife so tightly I thought my knuckles would lock. Beside me, my cousin was holding his large axe. The others were also poised, their weapons at the ready. This third paragraph introduces the Romans coming. So where are they coming from? In the distance, and you can know they're coming because you can hear their tramping feet. Saying the Roman patrol was coming with an exclamation mark shows that you are nervous about this. You can't believe they are coming. You've been waiting, and here they come. You're gripping the handle of your knife so tightly that you think your knuckles are going to lock. That's because you are frightened. You're holding it so tight, expecting what it's going to be like when the Romans arrive. You're not on your own. You've got your cousin next to you. You've got a friend next to you. You've got your father next to you. It's up to you. You're going to have somebody next to you who is also holding a weapon. And you're going to say that the others around you have got their weapons at the ready as well, because you are ready to fight. The final paragraph. Nearer and nearer came the sound of the Roman patrol, marching feet crashing down onto the earth. Then, through the leaves and branches, I saw them. A glint of the early sun catching on the metal armour the soldiers wore. Now I could see the faces of the soldiers beneath their helmets. How was it they could not see us? We were so close to them. The soldiers at the front of the patrol began to pass us. I felt a sickness in my stomach. This would be my first battle against the Romans. Would I be brave enough? The final paragraph introduces the Romans arriving on the path. It's when you see them for the first time. Remember, it's other members of the tribe who've been watching the Romans coming back and forth, but this is your opportunity for your first battle. This is where you ask yourself questions now. How was it they could not see us? Would I be brave enough? Are you going to be brave enough to fight these soldiers who haven't yet seen you? And what is going to happen when they see you? So, looking at your steps to success, you're going to use detailed descriptions of the surroundings because that helps your reader to know where you are. So the example here is the night had been pitch dark and was now turning the red and grey of just before dawn. So we're describing the time of day it is. Now it might be that your attack is going to be in the evening. It might be that it's late at night, or it might be that it's at dawn, like in this description here. You're going to write to show that you are staying hidden. So silent, hidden behind trees and concealed beneath bushes. So you are going to write and say that you are hidden behind or beneath something. It doesn't have to be bushes. It could be behind a tree trunk. It could be a makeshift shelter. It's up to you, but you are going to be hidden. And make sure you describe where you're hidden. You're going to be writing in the first person as if it's you that's hiding from the oncoming Roman soldiers. So you're going to be using I, my, we, our. So this example here, I crouched behind the cover of the trees, my fist gripping the handle of my knife so tightly I thought my knuckles would lock. You know that it's you speaking. You're going to have physical reactions of the characters, so physical things that you do. I crouched, I peered, I stared. They're going to be verbs that you're using to say exactly what you're doing, the reactions that you have while you're waiting for the soldiers to arrive and when you see them arrive. Open some of your sentences describing where the actions or sounds are taking place. So I've got nearer and nearer came the sound of the Roman patrol. We also had in the distance. So you're giving a bit of an idea about where actions and sounds take place. Describe what the Roman army have been doing. So you've got to put in that second paragraph why you know the Romans are going to pass, because they've been doing this patrol now for several days and the tribe members, your family, your cousins have been watching this happen, which is why you know you're going to attack them in this part of the woods. You need to show an element of fear in your character. This is your first battle. You are young and you're nervous about this. So gripping the handle of my knife so tightly I thought my knuckles would lock shows that there's an element of fear with your character. and then get some of those rhetorical questions in. Would I be brave enough? If you want to do a little bit of a plan, here there's 4 main paragraphs, and these are the ideas that happen in the paragraph. So the first one is describing your surroundings, what time of day it is, where you are, what's the floor like, what can you hear, what can you see, that kind of thing. Your second paragraph, describe being crouched in the bushes, describe being hidden, waiting for the Romans to arrive, how you know that they're going to arrive. Paragraph 3, you hear the Romans arriving. How do you feel about it? How do you know they're arriving? You can hear them before you can see them. Maybe you see a glint of their armour in the distance, the sun bouncing off, and that's how you know that they're arriving. And how do you feel after waiting for so long? Your final paragraph is when you actually see the Romans and you question whether or not you're going to be able to fight them. Okay, I hope you enjoy it. It's a bit different from the last few weeks where we've been doing non-fiction writing. So this is fictional. You can make it your own. Use my example to help you. It will all be on the website for you to use. So use that to give you an idea, to give you the structure of yours, but make it your own. Decide where you're hidden. It might be it's not a track through the forest. It could be that it's near a river. It could be that it's behind some boulders. It's completely up to you. Okay, I look forward to seeing your writing. Good luck.